What's going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of StipeTapped. Let's not talk facts. Got a lot going on this weekend. We got UFC Greenville, we got Bellator London, and the fucking cherry on top, bare knuckle boxing, which is going to be very, very bad. So we're gonna start with UFC Greenville. This card, overall, but I'm really looking forward to a couple specific ones. We're gonna start with Rob Font versus John Hands of Stone Lineker. Now, if you don't know anything about these two, and you're looking for something to focus on, John Hands of Stone Lineker. That's all you need to know. This guy always wants to bang. He's always swinging. After he's done swinging, he's going to swing again. And then after that, he's going to swing some more. He's always looking to take someone's head off, and he's really good at it. He's good at just violence. He's violent. It's fun to watch. A big difference between these two guys. This is Lineker's 17th UFC fight. He's 2 years younger than Rob Font. 17 UFC fights, 2 years younger. You put those together along with his hands. I don't see this fight going any other way than Lineker knocking Font's head into the fucking third row. And I'm excited for it. I mean, Lineker's arguably the scariest human being under 5'4" since Kim Jong-il. And I would argue that with anybody. I would debate that with anybody. The dude is fun to watch. That's why we're here. We're here to watch people get punched in the face. And he's one of the best at it. I'm not going to talk about Rob Font. He's coming off a win against Sergio Pettis, and I mean he's a good fighter. He's a good striker. He's got a great jab, but I want to see violence, and I want to see John Lineker take his head off. So that's the first pick. I mean Lineker's taking this fight on short notice, and he's the -200 favorite last time I checked. So what does that really say about Rob Font? Next, we're going to talk about Lipski versus Molly McCann. This is a women's fight on the card. And that's Lipski versus Molly McCann. I'm kidding. But this one could be good, I guess. It's not going to be anything like Bullet kicking Jessica I's head the fuck off, maybe knocking some sense into that cringy human being, but it could be good. Just get ready for every commentator, everybody talking about this to gargle Molly McCann's metaphorical balls. They all love her. They all think she's the greatest thing since Christ himself for some reason. I'm not that big of a fan. Yeah, her last fight against that brain-dead walking Brazilian, I don't even remember her name, was okay. It almost got stopped because she couldn't open her eye. And she's walking around like she won 3 belts. I don't get it. Everyone loves her. I don't get it. I'm going to go Lipski, I guess. Last but not least, we have the main event of UFC Greenville. Instead of butchering both of these names, I'm only going to butcher one. So we've got the Korean Zombie versus Renato Moicano. That was bad. This fight is very interesting because both of these guys are coming off losses. Now, one loss is completely different than the other. Korean Zombie is coming off a literal last-second loss. Renato is coming off of his very first stoppage loss due to strikes. And this is also his very first time main eventing. So that's a lot of pressure after your first loss. He got his ass kicked by Jose Aldo. And this is going to be a good fight, I think. But I'm gonna go against everyone. I know Moicano's got the pressure and the fighting technique, I guess, or the fighting style, if you will, that goes very poorly with the Korean Zombie's aggressive, just brute, I'm coming at you style. But I'm gonna go against everybody. I'm gonna go with the kid, Korean Zombie. Apart from the video you just saw, which was one of the craziest knockouts we've ever seen, at the end of a 5-round war. He's got a chin made of granite dipped in cement. This kid gets hit with everything, and he still keeps coming. And for that, I got to go with him. So that's who I'm going with. going against everybody. Korean Zombie, put it down. Actually, one last one. Just a little thing I want to bring up. Mini DC, Darren Wynn, is finally fighting in the UFC. He's had like 17 people pull out, and I don't even know who's fighting. I don't even care. This guy, I've been excited about him for a while. DC talks him up all the time. He's literally like a mini DC. I'm excited to see him fight. Y'all should look forward to that. That's on the early prelims, but that'll be a good one. That'll be good to see what he's capable of. I mean, he's a fucking world-class wrestler. He's a great dude. Pumped about that one. Now we're going to get into Bellator London. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because I really want to get into the bare-knuckle boxing. Can't believe that's fucking happening. But we'll start with the main event. Gegard Mousasi, I know I butchered that, versus Rafael Lovato Jr. Now, I don't know a lot about this guy. He's 9-0, 6 submission wins, versus arguably the best middleweight on the planet. I mean, Gegard's 46-6. He's universally known as one of the best fighters overall, let alone middleweight. So I don't know how this one's going to go, other than how it always goes with Mousasi jab and him just wiping the floor with people again and again and again. You have on this card James Gallagher, who off the brutal knockout by Ricky Bandejas, came back and submitted Stephen Graham a while back. But that loss by to Ricky was, it almost ended his hype train because everyone thought he was the next McGregor. They're Irish, they shit talk, they're at the same gym. That's about it. So he's coming back. It's good to see him. He's kind of been humbled a little bit, which you like to see. He's a young kid. He's a good fighter, no doubt. But the shit talk that he was doing was just a little. He was trying too hard. And to shout out Ricky, that was fun to watch. Thank you for that. I expect James to put on a show. I expect him to be entertaining. He always is. That'll be a good one to watch. Another one, I guess if you like Paul Daly, he's fighting. I don't, so I'm not going to talk about him. Now, for the moment I've been waiting for. Bare knuckle fucking boxing. Now, I can't believe this is actually going to happen. We have Artem Lobov, longtime training partner of Conor McGregor. That's the reason a lot of people think he was in the UFC, because he's got a record of 13-15. He's got like the reach of a newborn toddler, which doesn't help with fighting at all. But everybody likes him. He's the GOAT. He's the Russian Hammer. He's I don't know. Anyway, Artem is fighting a former multiple division world champion professional boxer by the name of Paulie Mangina. Yeah, Paulie Mangina. Now, Paulie Mangina's whole beef with Artem stems from the fact that Paulie is the most insecure, grown-ass man we've ever seen in the history of the world. He has had beef with the McGregor camp and the gym and anyone who associates with. I'm sure he'd talk shit to McGregor's kid if he could, because McGregor released a video to promote the fight of him knocking Paulie down in sparring twice. No big deal, right? Everybody gets knocked down in sparring. Everybody has their day. Paulie still does push-ups in front of a picture of McGregor, just crying every night. I'm gonna fucking get you back. It's ridiculous. The dude won't let it go. He is the most, like I said, the most insecure. He's like a child, and it's ridiculous. My issue, and a lot of people in the MMA community's issue with Paulie, is the fact that he said this in an interview to Bloody Elbow. I mean, talk about promoting a fight, right? My opponent's entire community is fucking idiots for making this happen. Why would you want this to happen? Why, if you didn't need this, then why are you doing it? You're fighting a 13 and 15 former UFC fighter for money that you don't need in bare knuckle boxing. And you're probably going to lose. And I get it. He's a former world champion. I've said that. Everybody thinks, he's just going to wipe the floor with Artem. Why? He hadn't fought since 2017. He's got knocked out 5 times. Artem's been knocked out once. And that was in 2011 in some promotion that I've never heard of. This dude's a fucking clown. He can't get over the fact that someone knocked him down in sparring and released footage of it. Boo fucking who. God damn. I'm over here sweating. This guy's such a fucking clown. He is such a clown. Like, no one cares, dude. No one, like, McGregor doesn't even bring it up anymore. McGregor still talks about, like, how he almost knocked out Floyd randomly in a tweet. Nobody gives a shit about you, dude. He can't get that through his head. Maybe he's punch drunk. Maybe he's just, like I said, an immature little fucking child. I don't know. I hope with all of my heart that Artem goes in there and just rips him apart. Just tears him apart. Now, what's more likely to happen is a lot like what we saw after Khabib versus Conor, where there's going to be brawling and a lot of people angry and a lot of fines and just pure chaos because, like I said, this dude doesn't know how to handle it. He can't handle the fact that nobody gives a shit about him. He's got to be in the limelight. He's got to prove something, and it's not even like a motivating thing. It's not like I'm doing this no, he's doing it because his ego is hurt. This dude's a clown. This dude is a fucking clown. Did I mention that this dude is a fucking clown? And even if he goes in there and starches Artem, you're not proving anything. He's 13 and 15. He's not a world champion. He's never been the best. He has this is his reach. Right fucking here. And I guess he's winning if he's trying to troll people and shit because he's getting people like me worked up about it. Congrats, Paulie, you won something. That's it for Artem versus Paulie Mangina. I think I speak for everybody in the MMA community, probably a lot of people in the boxing community too, when I say I hope you get knocked the fuck out. For the end of this video, we're going to go out on a lighter note. We asked you guys what are some questions you wanted to hear, and I'm going to try my best to answer them. So first, we got this. What do you think the MMA community's response will be if Tony doesn't get a title shot, and do you think the fans' retaliation will be able to sway the UFC into making the right decision? No. I don't think the UFC will make the right decision. It's still Dana White. He still cares about money. If Tony could be 3,000-0 and retire and never get a title shot. It depends on the money. He doesn't care. People are gonna buy it anyway. He knows that. He doesn't care. I don't think the fan retaliation will do anything. I don't think he cares about anything other than money, and that's just how it's probably gonna be until he's gone. Next, we have this one from old Gilbert. Why is Chael Sonnen receiving such a great retirement send-off when he is a multiple-time drug cheat and a felon, asking for a friend? Are you on drugs? I don't know. He's known as the bad guy. Nobody's arguing that he did some bad things. He was an entertaining fighter. He brought in a lot of revenue. He was fun to watch. You know what? I'm gonna let Chael answer this one on his own. Okay, this one, voice of MMA. Thank you for your service. Answer the real questions. Who do you love to hate the most? Absolutely Colby Covington, and I'd say Tito Ortiz, but you're not supposed to make fun of the mentally handicapped nowadays, so it's 2019. So we'll stick with Colby Covington. He's a piece of shit. For our last question, who is the greatest MMA legend of all time? Chael Sonnen or Chael Sonnen? Well, this is a difficult one because there's a lot of factors that go into the greatest of all time. You know, people talk about John Jones, people talk about GSP, people talk about Habib, people talk about there's a lot of people that everybody has their own opinion, but you can't argue that it's almost impossible to retire undefeated. Yet Chael Sonnen managed to do it. So I guess I got to go with the American gangster, Chael Sonnen. Concludes our episode of StipeTapped. Let's not talk facts. Everybody enjoy the fights this weekend. Be sure not to buy the pay-per-view because we don't want to give Paulie any more attention than he's already gotten.